To the to the Batmobile. Let's go.
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Captain America said you gotta be like me or you're gonna wind up dead. That's at the end of your road. Flat road, down and tired. You sleepyhead, won't you go to bed? Let me run your line. If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman? If I'm alive, then will you be there holding my hand? Savior of the universe.
どんなこんな後悔だって超えてみせるんだ種明かしはいらない
Everybody come on. 我らにとって人生は我が身を5分反省してしょぼいな君食える外せば寂しげなその美貌しまるいつからだ会えるよ振り返らずに明日へ向かうよ You are my way 信じる道へ
Hey guys, we're back.
Yes, we are back.
This is Flamehawk, and this is East Meets West,
As always, I am the Gentleman Snark.
where we discuss the newest and best news in the otaku and nerd realm.
Yes, and we're going to have Flamehawk jump start it for us.
There's a lot of things we could break into, but let's break into Star Wars. Chewbacca will be getting his own comic book. It looks like the successful Groot comic series, with him saying, I am Groot all the time. With that his only vocabularistics, that seems to be doing so well that we have someone who just roars. I don't know how that'll work, but if they follow the same series format as Groot, then we should be in for a decent comic. Okay, while on the subject of Star Wars, Mark Hamill almost died on set. Yep, you heard me.
What?
You heard me.
How? Is he okay?
He's good, but while filming in Ireland, Hamill's lost his footing climbing up some steps to a monastery and took a fall. He was almost a goner, report says. An Irish official guide of public works helped him before any damage was done, so luckily he was safe. But, in his 60s, any fall or anything, any slip-up can probably do a good amount of damage. As we remember, Harrison Ford broke his ankle on the Millennium Falcon set earlier. And it seems like, this is just speculation right here, but it seems like we will be getting, Mark Hamill's as Luke Skywalker on The Force Awakens at the end. It looks like they're going to be, searching for him. And it looks like, from what I've heard, he may die in the second, movie coming out in a few years.
You said this is speculation, so not spoilers, correct?
It has good enough backup from a few amount of sources to maybe give a spoiler warning, but it is speculation at this point as it is not official, so we'll see going forward how this affects the franchise that is probably one of everyone's favorite, or is on their top 5.
Okay, well, that sounds very interesting. I mean, I'm just happy the guy's alright. We don't need any more unnecessary deaths out there.
On the Millennium Falcon set earlier. And it seems like, this is just speculation right here, but it seems like we will be getting, Mark Hamill's as Luke Skywalker on The Force Awakens at the end. It looks like they're going to be, searching for him. And it looks like, from what I've heard, he may die in the second, movie coming out in a few years.
You said this is speculation, so not spoilers, correct?
It has good enough backup from a few amount of sources to maybe give a spoiler warning, but it is speculation at this point as it is not official, so we'll see going forward how this affects the franchise that is probably one of everyone's favorite, or is on their top 5.
Okay, well, that sounds very interesting. I mean, I'm just happy the guy's alright. We don't need any more unnecessary deaths out there.
Also, seems like Benicio del Toro, as we might know as the Collector, will be playing a villain in Star Wars VIII. There's no really definition of his character besides he's a villain, but he says, I don't know if he's a villain. People are saying that, but it's like they read a different script than I am reading. It's nice to keep people in the dark. A little bit of mystery is good. If they want to believe it's a villain, then good. So, what will this character involve? I guess time will tell. For right now, that's all on the Star Wars front.
Oh, well then. For all you Persona fans out here, the Persona 5 third promo video has dropped today, and mind you, what I say, what a fantastic trailer it was. For those of you who want to know, please be sure to check out our Twitter page to find out all that. So basically, in the promotional video, they did reveal something very, very interesting. Once again, another video game, Persona 5 is going to be delayed for summer of 2016. Yes. It was slated for the winter, but for some reason, looking from the trailer, the game is that good that they have to push it back. So hopefully Atlas knows what they're doing, and they're really going to give us a treat here when it finally drops. Oh yeah, during the video, they had a radio announcer that was talking about certain things. They were talking about certain things about the game, and it was also translated right here. And so basically, the radio announcer talks about a train incident with an unknown cause, and a person in the crowd mentions how there have been a lot of accidents lately. A student speaks about a rumor that hearts are being stolen, and another mentions they saw something like that being talked about on the internet. The protagonist's friends, Nadia, exclaims at how school has changed the appearance into the form of a castle. The feline companion mentions that these places are called palaces, are the materialization of twisted human desires. The character voiced by Tomokazu Sugita mentions how surprised he is that the phantom thief who steals hearts really exists. And Old Man says that the persona is the armor, the mask is what protects the users. So very interesting theme they're going in here. So basically, it doesn't seem like we might be fighting. It doesn't seem like in Persona 5 the main antagonist might be shadows, but humans themselves. And the whole thing about hearts being stolen, I'm very curious to see how they are planning on taking this. Like I said, the trailer looked very interesting, very vibrant. You know, it left a lot of people hyped to want to know more about the game. I mean, sure, there's that delay, but if Atlas knows what they're doing, I mean, I'm gonna call this as Game of the Year for next year in the summer. There was an interview with the director of the game, Katsuro Hashino, but however, it wasn't translated, so I don't exactly know what happened in the interview. So for your own convenience, be sure to check that out, and hopefully somebody will be able to put subtitles on it or anything. So yeah, there's that. The cast of the game is going to include Jun Fukuyama as a protagonist, Rina Sato, Aki Toyosaki, Nani Mitsuki as An Takamaki, Hirohiko Kakigawa, and Tomokazu Sugita, Kajo Nakita, Yuji Mitsuya, Ikui Uhitani, Kizunari Tanaka, Minako Arakawa, Mamoru Miyano as Ryuji Sakamoto, Yuko Kade, Masani Tsukiyama, Soichiro Hoshi, Aoyuki, Shinichi Ikeda, Haruka Tomatsu, and Yokitoshi Hiyori. So yeah, those are going to be the cast. I hope I didn't butcher the names too badly. So yeah, that's going to be Persona 5. The trailer is going to be delayed for summer of 2016. It looks to be a very interesting game. So oh yeah, and speaking on games, Tokyo Game Show 2015 has launched, and that has given way to a lot of good video game trailers out there. For example, besides the Persona 5 news, we're getting a Danganronpa V3 game that's going to be slated for the PS4 and the PS Vita. Very interesting touch on how Danganronpa series games actually making it to the big screen. That's very interesting. One of the main console games out here. Oh, by the way, be sure to check our Twitter if you wish to know wish to see the announcement trailer, as we have tweeted it there. So basically, Sony Computer Entertainment, they announced this in a press conference on basically the game is going to be called New Danganronpa V3. The English name is going to be Everyone's New Semester of Killing. It seems that once again that they're going to also be following the similar format to the other original Danganronpa games. Not Ultra Despair Girls, which wasn't a bad game, but, we wanted the main series visual novel murder solving type of game. So it seems to be following that similar format. However, at the end of the announcement trailer, there was a bit of a glimpse that kind of teased a bit of something here. Like we see a woman with, seems to be folding her hands, and I don't know, that kind of reminded me of the pose of Inashuma, spoilers by the way who haven't played the game, of Inashuma Junko, who was the main antagonist for the Danganronpa and Danganronpa 2. And for those of you who have played the ending of Ultra Despair Girls, know that there is a new one, that there's going to be a new Inashuma Junka or Ultimate Despair on the rise here. So I don't know. I'm guessing we might see that one as the main antagonist in this game. What I'm mostly curious about is that we see, I believe, the other stuffed animal is Minami along with Monokuma. So does that mean I'm wondering if we'll be able to see the cast from the second game, Super Danganronpa. So will we see, Hajime, all of them, and will the people in the comas, will they come back? Like, there's a lot of speculations here. I mean, we don't have enough information to go forward. I mean, at the end of the day, all we know is that it's going to be developed for the PS4 and PS Vita. I, for one, am looking very forward to this game. I mean, the hype is real. So be sure to check out the Tokyo Game Show 2015 for more gaming news out there. I mean, there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff going to be popping up. So look forward to that. One Piece Burning Blood has been unveiled. The trailer has been unveiled. So let's talk a bit about this. Flamehawk, you were the one that sent me. Sent me this trailer here. What do you think of this?
It seems like that we might actually get the One Piece fighting game that One Piece actually deserves.
I mean, I believe the last major fighting game was probably like Grand Battle, unless you want to call the Unlimited series a fighting game, which not very good. Wasn't bad, but not very good in my opinion. I mean, in the trailer we actually see some type of, event, like running around, like you actually have to use the terrain in a fight, so it's more diverse here. Like, how did you feel about that?
That is true. I did like the different settings and stuff, so I don't know what else this game can offer that most of the other ones did not, but seeing from the trailer had a decent amount of stuff that looked like it would be a decent fighting game.
Well, yeah, I mean, the game has been announced by Bandai Namco Entertainment, and it was announced for the Sony Computer Entertainment, and it's going to be for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation Vita. I gotta say, this year or next year, PS Vita has been getting a lot of love here, so it's nice to see Sony hasn't forgot about their handhelds. So yeah, there's that. So, One Piece Burning Blood looks like it's going to be like a decent fighting game. I believe in the trailer they made like some type of hint that's going to be kind of similar to like all the Naruto fighting games, except try to like outbeat them. However, in my opinion, Naruto as in fighting games has kind of been winning against like One Piece, and that's in that scenario. Like, what would you say about that? Since we've been playing a couple of Clash of Ninjas 2 for a while, so what would you say, Flamehawk?
I definitely love Kibo because I can use a lot of cheap tricks to beat you.
You still can't beat my main though.
I can beat everyone else,
but you can't beat Shikamaru. Nah. But that's a slight deviation here. Anything on your end, Flamehawk?
Yeah. While we all are expecting a decent movie out of Batman v Superman, expect it to get a lot better.
Better, you say?
Yep. Alfred is completely different in the movie, according to Jeremy Irons. He says Alfred is improved and is 2.0. He has all the bugs and glitches fixed that we saw in the Christopher Nolan Dark Knight series, though I do love Michael Caine, so I didn't see any bugs there.
I mean, what type of, like, are we going to get the passive butler, or are we going to get, the awesome butler that's, willing to go in and do some action, like?
I'm going to say the quote. It was a month in Detroit, which is actually longer than you imagine, but the films move slowly. It's a huge oil tanker. Zack Snyder, the director, wanted to create a completely different Alfred, so I felt I didn't have to carry any baggage from the previous ones. It's sort of a reincarnation, if you'd like. I had a feeling I was creating my own Alfred, more of a man who can actually do anything if he has to.
Wow, we might get another awesome butler here, one that actually is going to be taking action. Kind of similar to the Beware the Batman series that aired in a short time in Cartoon Network. So nice to see that. Alfred's going to be making a return. We haven't really seen that rendition of Alfred a lot. So
that is true.
So that'd be very interesting to see here once again on video game news. But this one, a lot of people might jump for joy. Phoenix Wright, the Ace Attorney game franchise, is getting a TV anime in April 2016. Capcom had announced in the stage event on the Tokyo Game Show that Ace Attorney, the courtroom battling game franchise, is going to get a TV anime adaptation. So it's no info on the cast as of yet, as from what I've looked into. No info on the cast, so there's that. But I heard inklings that the anime is probably going to be either based around, or it's going to try to set up the 6th Ace Attorney game. So that'll be the newest one that's like still in the works here. So it's probably going to be a way to help promote this series here. So from the way it's sounding here, I'm wondering if this could be potentially a finale to Phoenix Wright. I highly doubt it based on what the info of the game we got, but it seems like they're pulling out all the stops for this, because I'm aware that Phoenix Wright has had a manga a while back, but getting an anime series, I believe this is the first I've heard of this. So I believe they're pulling out all the stops here. So the expectations are high on this one. Expectations are very high on this one. How do you feel on this whole development, Flamehawk?
I definitely think that if Phoenix Wright ends, it'll be missing something, because it is definitely a good game series that a lot of people enjoy playing, and I do think if there's an anime, that'll be icing on the cake, as it were, and many people would be enjoying that.
I totally agree as well. So yes, that's going to be another interesting anime to look out for coming next year here. So Flamehawk, you got anything?
I know Pacific Rim was enjoyed by many, but it doesn't look like we will be getting a sequel, as the second one, Pacific Rim Maelstrom, got effectively cancelled yesterday.
I heard about that, but any particular reason as to why it got cancelled?
Let's just say the last few films that between Universal and Legendary, their
each other's throats.
Relationship is tight at the moment, and you can cut the tension with a knife. The last movie, I definitely loved Seventh Son, but that did not get any love in the box office.
Ooh, not looking good for them.
I know they had a few movies like Legendary helped Jurassic World, but other than that, they haven't really been that good in the film front in a while.
Well, what does this say for the comic series, though, Pacific Rim? If there's no sequel to the movie, won't the comic kind of just tank?
There's no word on that as to date, but I wouldn't think that would be affected, because, if there's not going to be a second film, they have to get their fix from somewhere else. And if they can't get a film, maybe a cartoon series of it? Maybe the cartoon is on Cartoon Network, maybe? I don't know anything as to date, but that would be a decent kind of Transformers kind of thing.
I guess. Get something for the kids to watch out there. I personally don't see that happening, but, we all can dream, right?
I do enjoy this because Guillermo del Toro is free to do other things now, and I don't know if that means Hellboy 3 will be helped out in the closing of this film because it gives him more time, and Ron Perlman says he wants to do it, but I would definitely love a end cap to the trilogy of Hellboy.
We kind of just ended on with Hellboy suspectingly getting twins, so let's see little buggers running around here. Come on, let's a lot of people wanted to see that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people wanted to see that. So, yeah, let's make Hellboy 3 a thing. Come on, hashtag Hellboy 3. Let's make it happen. But, now on to a bit of the manga series. As we all know, One Piece After a week of its hiatus, the chapter 800 has been released yesterday, and so on. Oh yes, spoilers by the way for those who have not read it or is on anime only. Luffy got the alliance whether he liked it or not, essentially. Basically, he was kind of forced into it. I mean, they offered him a drink. He was he didn't even want to do it. He just said, nah, I'm just not interested. It's too cramped. Like, he just said no. And the other guys just wouldn't let him have it. Like, they just said, okay, we'll join you anyway. So, a bit of a strained relationship, but I mean, Luffy did say they're free to do whatever they want, so they're just doing whatever they want, regardless if he likes it or not. So, Flamehawk's in anime only here on the more front here, but, I mean, what do you think of just Luffy just saying, F that, and no alliance? Like, do you think it's a smart move on his end?
Do you really expect him to actually accept any outside help?
I mean, he's accepted outside help before, well,
Under extreme circumstances where his brother was gonna die if he didn't, and spoiler alert, he did.
I mean, come on, if you watch all the specials at this point, I mean, Ace dying, I mean, he's dead. Go cry about it in the corner.
Or is he? Sabo's alive.
Okay, the fact that Sabo got his fruit means Ace died. Yes.
Or does it?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Isn't there a way to subtract the fruit?
No.
Are you sure?
No.
Oda.
Ace smiled. He was punched through the chest with lava. You can't really be serious on defending this.
Oda, can you enter this for us?
No, seriously, answer this in the next SBS. Like, seriously, is Ace alive? Like, no, he's not.
He's alive in our hearts. He's alive in our hearts.
Boo, get that weak crap out of here. So, yeah, there was that, One Piece chapter. It was a very interesting chapter here. It wasn't, it was kind of like the party after the whole entire arc, which some suspected it wasn't gonna happen. Even I did, since, like, the entire crew, the main crew, like Sanji and them aren't there yet, but there's gonna be an after crew party. The chapter was a bit short, but I mean, it got the job done. It made its point across. What was very interesting in the chapter was how Fujitora was actually thanking them for all they did for stopping Doflamingo's like reign of terror on Dressrosa. I'm not gonna lie, Dressrosa, the island, I'm probably gonna miss, but the arc, the fight between Luffy and Doflamingo was good. Everything else lackluster in my opinion.
Well, I'm happy that Dressrosa is kind of over, because just in my regard, it kind of trailed on a little bit too long.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, the only thing I'll give it points for is that it was not a Fishman Island arc. If it was another Fishman Island, then that, like, even with all the good stuff, like, spoilers by the way, Sabo returning, him getting the flare fruit, all that stuff, it just would have been completely out the window if they had made it as long as Fishman Island. Like, that's why Fishman Island, don't get me wrong, for what it was and trying to represent, I'm A-okay with it, but because it was way too long with a whole bunch of stuff, especially with Shirahoshi crying every which way, not my personal favorite arc. And I mean, Dressrosa almost went that route with Rebecca crying almost every 2 seconds, so there's that.
Where do we think this will go in the near future? I know Kaido is on the plate. Do you think we're going to go straight at Kaido, or do you think we're going to kind of save that for later?
I mean, well, first and foremost, the main priority right now is catch up with the rest of the crew. And from what we saw them last time on the chapters, they were already tangoing with Kaido's men. So I'm guessing Kaido's probably going to be next on the block for a second here. So there's that, because they got to meet up with the crew. They can't, like, that's priority number one. At least that would be my priority. But what was very interesting at the ending of the chapter was how it was hinted at that all these people that are alliance with Luffy are going to be helping them. They're going to have their spot in history and helping them for one grand battle or one grand finale. So Oda, you're killing me with these setups here. Like, what is all this? I mean, many speculate this is all for, like, the final battle to preserve the One Piece here, but I like, what is it? Like, Oda, these teases, they're getting too strong here. You're trying to be like Sue Yoshida right now in Tokyo Ghoul, so what's with these teases? You like, come on. You're killing me here.
I don't know. I think the last fight is going to be between either Shanks and Luffy or Blackbeard and Luffy. I'm gonna go Blackbeard and Luffy.
I had a conversation with a lot of people, like, the other day. They're thinking that Blackbeard is being set up to be the final boss here, and I'm just wondering, can Akainu get his? He killed Ace. He has to get his one way or another. He has to get his. He killed Ace. He stole Fleet Admiral position from Aokiji. One way or another, Akainu got to get his, and I'll be thoroughly enjoying that chapter when he does. But he has to get his.
I think Gecko Maria might be in the last battle.
If you mean he'll be the first one to get knocked out, then probably. But what is he gonna do? Like, what is he gonna... yes, he's alive and well, and that's what he had his men reveal all the alliances, but come on, what is he gonna do? Kaido beat him before, and guess what? Kaido now wants to start a war. What is Moria gonna do? Maybe he might team up with Luffy to take him down, or one of the alliances, just to help take down Kaido, but...
his work ethic is very, very strong.
Steal people's shadows and force them to work for him. Yeah, that's a nice work ethic. Meanwhile, he can't do anything himself. He has to steal people's shadows.
He can do some things for himself, but he just chooses not to.
Okay, so we'll just forget how the first fight when he fought Luffy, he literally sat down, did nothing, and let his shadow do all the work.
And almost beat him too.
That's because he went back and got Oz. He went back and got Oz, that giant thing. And it had Luffy's abilities and reflexes and stuff like that. That's no excuse. I will say this, it was better than the Zoro versus Pika fight, because that fight was a disappointment in ways. Pika ran most of the fight, and whenever he did stay and fight, he got wrecked by Zoro, utterly wrecked.
Well, no, back onto my side. Fantastic Four, the person who played...
Oh boy.
Sue Storm,
Here we go.
Mara, she kinda dissed it today.
She dissed the Fantastic Four?
A little bit.
Mind you, folks, we haven't made one joke this show. This is pure. This is not coming from us. We didn't make one joke this show.
The actress said, "I've certainly been a part of movies that people are not very thrilled about." Fantastic Four. So it's nice to be in something people love. When she's talking about movie The Martian, her newest film. Not even the outside people are knocking the film anymore. The actual actors of the film are saying the movie was terrible, or was saying that people didn't exactly enjoy it, and I can speculate that she didn't exactly enjoy it either.
Would you enjoy being in a movie that tanked? Would you? I wouldn't. That's because you're basically being associated with an abomination.
It depends. Some abomination movies find cult classics after a while.
Fantastic Four is not finding a cult following. You're not defending this. You're not defending this.
Of course, Fantastic Four is gonna get.
No, it won't.
When it gets back to Marvel.
No, it won't. The fact that Battle Royale.
When it gets back to Marvel, it'll be a lot better.
Okay. Marvel, but as long as Fox has its grubby hands on it, that's not happening.
They have done some decent stuff with the XMen series, so let's see if they can somehow...
That's X-Men, though.
Let's see if
that's X-Men, though.
Let's see if they can somehow return the franchise to a restorable point and just basically press the reset button, even though they already did that in the new follow-up to the 2000s movies. I enjoyed them better than this one. So it's like when a computer gets a virus, after you reset it, you gotta reset it one more time just to make sure that it will be all set.
Personally, they might do the whole DBZ format where Battle of Gods was mostly story and they had that epic fight, and that's pretty much what Fantastic Four was trying to do, I'm assuming. So maybe they might do a whole Resurrection of F in the next sequel of the movie, if there is one, where it's going to be nothing but non-stop action. Will it work out for them? Well, I'm not a director or a film critic, but I wouldn't bet on their chances.
Alright, still on the Marvel side, the actual Marvel side, Captain America Civil War. Sebastian Stan, who plays Bucky Barnes, a.k.a. the Winter Soldier, says there's going to be some good amount of fighting. And in the quote, he says, "Some brutal fighting, some serious fighting, like you haven't really seen before in any of the other films," which I'm really proud to say. And a whole lot of character and heart, because there's a lot of people that are in the film. But you are going to get a lot of character from everybody. So I'm actually stoked about this because it seems like they will actually be going heavy duty into the next Captain America movie.
When I hear like some real fighting that you've never seen before, I can't help but think of the Daredevil Netflix series, because they went all out with their combat sequences. So if they're trying to top that or whatnot, you officially have my attention here. Like, I really want to see that. Like, we got Black Panther up in there. We got but has it been confirmed that Bucky's going to be in the film? Because I've heard a lot of things saying that he wouldn't be. So is it been confirmed if he's going to be in the film?
I'd say so. I'd say this cements him into it. I'd really say that cements him into it, as the character lineup is saying it will be starring Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, Anthony Mackie, Paul Bettany, Jeremy Renner, Don Cheadle, Elizabeth Olsen, Sebastian Stan, so there's your answer, Chadwick Boseman, Emily Van Camp, Daniel Bruhl, Frank Grillo, William Hurt, and Paul Rudd. And also the Spider-Man, Tom Holland.
Okay, so that's quite a lineup here. I'm really interested to see what they're going to do with Spider-Man, like how that's going to work out here. Because, I mean, have we seen much inklings of the new Spider-Man? Like, what's the kid, like, have we even seen, like, a costume of whatnot? I mean, I haven't really been following this, but, I mean, I'm just wondering if we have ever seen any inklings of if this guy, what he has to offer is going to be good as the new Spider-Man, because
we haven't had a picture yet, but I wouldn't be expecting too much from him, because they did get him late into the production side of things.
Actually, now that I think about it, I think they said that he's going to be a cameo, so he probably won't be doing much.
Yeah, I mean, if the rights issue was resolved sooner, he would definitely be in it. Unfortunately, there's some lingering on both sides, unfortunately, which goes to this just being a cameo character with the Spider-Man movie coming out in a few years.
Well, I mean, basically this film is kind of set up for all the other future films, pretty much, except for Thor. Thor is its own thing at the moment, right?
More or less, yes.
Yeah, so it's kind of a setup for all the future films here. We still got a ways to go before Infinity Wars, folks. So, in other news here, a lot of, there's also been this interesting chess game in the Tokyo Game Show 2015. Not really anime or related, but I thought it was very good. They kind of made the chess game kind of more cyberpunkier. I'll be sure to try to post a video on that soon on our Twitter page or Tumblr, whichever media you follow us on. But it looked very interesting. It looked more cyberpunkier here, like a lot, and I believe it had more like beats and type of music to it, and it incorporated a lot of speed chess elements into it. So it was very interesting to see. I personally would love to play it, but unfortunately, we're still ways away from getting to Tokyo. We'll make it happen though one day. But a slight digression here. So yeah, Tokyo Game Show. I mean, it's, from what I've heard, it's not the biggest one, because it's not the biggest gaming convention, because I believe PAX holds that title. It's either PAX or E3 holds that title. So, but from what I'm seeing and from what I'm hearing, it seems to be a pretty big deal too, especially in Japan. So I'm going to be keeping my eyes out for any more interesting stuff out here, because they got a lot of stuff to reveal here. A lot of gaming stuff, a few anime stuff here too, here and there. So I mean, for all you out there, once again, keep your eyes out for the Tokyo Game Show 2015. I'm like, a lot of stuff is going on in there. So be sure to keep your eyes out for that. And Flamehawk?
Unfortunately, Toonami hasn't been able to crack into the top 10 for the ratings this past week. I mean, what do you expect with Family Guy, American Dad, other staples like that, and now you're getting into the more sports things, like football is in its prime. It's just taking off. And now you're putting, yes, DBZ Kai did get 1,343 viewers, which is about 0.7 of the 1849 rating, which isn't bad, but let's just put it this way. American Dad at 11 o'clock, 1,600, and Family Guy almost had 1,800 at 11:30. So this is an issue because of the timing. If Toonami was moved up, we would be seeing some decent amount of ratings instead of having everyone go to sleep before it comes on and then having it trail off at the very end of the night.
Personally, I'm a little bit upset that American Dad and Family Guy is able to score higher than Toonami. Like, people still watch that? Dang.
And keep in mind these are reruns, but so are a lot of Toonamis.
DBZ Kai is a rerun.
Yeah.
Like, we have to be honest there. DBZ Kai is a rerun.
Acme Got Kill finished second in the lineup for Toonami, and also Michiko to Hudson finished third. So it seems like we have a steady decline from the top of the hour to the bottom of the lineup.
Well, not to say Michiko to Hachin is like pulling in strong. How do you feel about that?
I mean, whatever gets the ratings for Toonami, I am good about. If it's any outside thing, I mean, true, they probably can't get a lot of series that go beyond the U.S. market ability. There's a lot of animes. I'm not going to say which one. High School of the Dead, for one example.
To Love Ru is never making it on TV over here. That's another one.
Never.
Never.
I mean, let's just put it this way. Like, if whatever they have to do to booster the lineup, I am totally for.
Well, that's a nice, interesting perspective to look at it here. But, I mean, the fact that those shows, I think Seth MacFarlane has kind of like given up on those shows in a sense. The fact that those shows are beating Toonami and their reruns, I'm personally a bit disappointed here. I mean, what's going on here? But then, I mean, the only thing that should really be killing Toonami is the football season coming back. That I will contend to how football season being a big thing, being a big deal, especially since the Super Bowl is not that far off into next year in February. So, I mean, Super Bowl's coming in. A lot of people gonna cheer on for the team. So, like I said, football, decent is gonna be what kills Toonami just a little bit. But American Dad and Family Guy, get out. No, just no. That should not be happening. No.
And remember, catch our Toonami lineup on our website, nerdvotaku.com, and also our anime lineup, which we make our own, which we'll be having a little bit of a shake-up this week due to us adding some new and improved animes into the lineup. So if you're just joining it, you're coming at a right time. That is nerdvotaku.com.
Yes, be sure to check us out here, and also check out Flamehawk's Comic Cascade, which I believe he had posted some new comics out there for you guys.
Yep,
so.
I did do a new comic book review for this week, and I will be doing a DC, The Flash review for what to expect, and if you haven't seen it, to catch you up on it.
So yeah, be sure to check out all those stuff, and be sure to check out my Gentleman's Collection. It's been slacking a bit, but don't forget.
There will be some new stuff on it.
Yeah, there'll be some new stuff on it, like the Lupin the Third Blue Jacket series. Be sure to catch that. I'm definitely going to be reviewing that as first impression. That's definitely going to happen. So yeah, also One Punch Man, that's definitely going to be hitting the scene. Oh, don't you worry about that, folks. One Punch Man is definitely going to be on there. So yeah, be sure to catch us at our website. Once again, that's nerdvotaku.com. There's going to be a whole bunch of new stuff for you guys out there to enjoy. So be sure to catch us there. Oh, and also be sure to follow us on Twitter. That's at MeetsWest. That's at MEETSWEST. At MeetsWest.
And until next week, stay classy.
See ya.
Hey, this is Flamehawk. I hope you enjoyed our weekly East Meets West podcast.
Be sure to catch us every week on Thursdays, 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I run the American side of things, covering Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and much, much more.
And as always, I run the otaku and Japanese side of things, from Shonen Jump into other interesting anime news. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Your contribution is always appreciated.
And remember, folks, stay classy.
See ya!